What up, everybody? This is your boy Kevin Thornton, the Wellness Architect, and you're tuned into the Wellness Architect Show on Manifest TV. We are on 2 hours early today because we have a special guest who's doing big things. I wanted to try to accommodate him so he could keep on doing what he got to do, but still get him on the show. My whole platform is to inspire, educate, and empower people to be the best version of themselves, mind, body, and spirit. And this man encompasses all of that. My whole platform too is to showcase black men in a different light that society and media has already portrayed us to be, and he does that as well too. Also, it doesn't help that he's a homeboy from Cleveland, so it's two Cleveland boys doing great things. So, without further ado, I have Darrell D.P. Patterson. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
I'm doing great. So why don't you tell everybody who you are, what you do, and how you get to this point right here, right now?
Well, my name's Darrell Patterson. A lot of people call me DP on social media. I am the real DP. I'll probably just start off with how I got into fitness. I played basketball pretty much all my life. And around 2013, into 2013, I was let go of operation manager's position at Home Depot.
Okay.
With a son about to be born. Actually, it was 2012, so I was let go 2013. My son was born in April. Started, went to the gym, started training, and picked up a client that was my first client. She paid me about $30 a week. That turned into more of her friends training and getting results, and then I started taking it a little bit serious.
Right.
And figured I could make a little bit of money and possibly turn it into a career until I find out what I wanted to do.
Right.
With my life and with the son being born. And one thing led to another. I started getting a lot of views and likes and just a lot of attention on social media, Instagram to be specific. And one thing led to another. I found myself in Atlanta. My actual first client in Atlanta was Portia Williams from Atlanta Housewives,
okay,
which is still one of my clients. And it just turned into a big uproar up here in Atlanta. Started training, started teaching classes, never taught a class a day in my life, and hooked up with a guy named Deshaun Johnson. A lot of people know him as Guru of Abs. We did a few different endeavors. We had 30 Days of Hell or 90 Days of Hell program, and we had it's like $1. People paid $1 to join the program. Then we started traveling, doing classes, and after I think a year, we kind of said we was gonna try to focus. Well, he actually said he was gonna focus on his brand, and I wanted to still teach classes. So, right after we had that conversation, I went in my room and came up with the name or the term HEAT, which stands for Hardcore Extreme Active Training. And I started teaching HEAT class, and it took forever to get, at least like 5 or 10 people in there. And I tried every different strategy there was, bring a friend, get in free, bring 2 friends, get in for $10. I mean, everything that I could possibly think of just to get people into the gym, into the location I was at. And, I was paying my DJ at the time, like nobody was doing DJs in their classes. When I had a DJ that I always wanted a live DJ in my class, and I was paying him like $50 an hour. I was paying about $50 to rent out the facility, so I was already had to come up with $100 off rip. You know, and like I said, I was struggling to get 10 people in class, and got to a point where I was just ready to give up on that, and decided to revamp and try to refocus. So I ended up hiring me a marketing manager and an assistant. And my marketing manager was a friend, of course, who kind of just believed in everything that I had going on, along with my assistant, was one of my clients that, just wanted to help out, wanted to see me do good. And they gave me everything that they had. They answered all my emails, and in case I needed some bookings and things like that, they took care of those processes. So I kind of had a little bit more time to focus on the growth of class and
Right.
what everything that I wanted the class to be. Changed locations, so I had a bigger location. So right around this time, I'm averaging roughly 12 to 15 people. If I had 20, I was like, you couldn't tell me anything.
Right.
So did that for a while. I'm like, this is still not where I needed to be and where I wanted to be, or where I can see this class going. And I had the opportunity to go to another gym, which I can actually train in. So I was training in the same gym and teaching my classes in the same gym, so it actually kind of worked. So I did that for about a year. My classes got to the point where 60 to 80 people were coming in on average, and like I said, I did that for about a year, and it got to the point where I kind of outgrew the gym. And during that time, I left out some parts. I kind of started a program called the Heat Challenge, and it started as a 7-day program, went to a 30-day program, went back to a 7-day program, and then turned into a 60-day program where I started giving money away.
Right.
And I started off with maybe like $100, $50, $75, and then it went from 100 to 200 to 500, and then it went from 500 to 1,000, and then it went from 5 people getting $5,000 a piece. So
Yeah.
now I'm giving away $100,000 a year for my program, and that kind of put me in position to do some different things in the fitness realm.
Right.
And ended up buying a gym.
Right.
Paid cash, no partners.
Wow.
And really just invested everything I had in this vision that I had. When I said, okay, I'm gonna start training, then I'm probably gonna want to buy my own gym, because at a certain point I know I'm not gonna want to be a 50, 60-year-old trainer. So I need to start positioning myself to do some different things. And here you have it.
I hear you. I hear you. So the heat class is like a cardio type class. It's like step aerobics.
Well, at this point I have 2 different signature classes.
Okay.
Heat is a body weight class,
Okay.
so you don't need any equipment. You can do the stuff at home. And then I have a class called Levels,
Okay.
which I don't really take full recognition, because step aerobics has been around probably way before I was born.
Right.
But it's just a little more flavor to it.
Right.
I've added some different routines, some signature stuff, and kind of made it my own. So,
Okay.
It's called Levels because there's levels to the class.
Right.
And it's pretty fun. It's
I see the videos.
2-step, you can do it.
Yeah, I see the videos, so I said I was gonna come down and check it out.
Okay.
Why? So for the guys, since guys, we all are into the muscle part,
Right.
but why don't we do the cardio the same way we do the lifting weights?
It's funny because I see more guys now taking the class.
Really?
I don't look like a small guy.
No, that's why I was surprised.
Yeah. So, and I explain to guys like, yo, you just gotta, like, if you like to have fun and you too cool to dance when you go
Right.
out, you can come here and
Right.
have a good time, burn some calories, and after a while they're taking it. And we got some good looking ladies in there as well. So
Yeah, you do.
it makes it fun and entertaining at the same time, and you're gonna drop some pounds,
Yeah.
and burn some calories at the same time.
Yeah, because I know when I taught spin classes, I attracted a lot of guys because I think I made it real intense
Right.
to make it seem like they actually was doing something. So they did a lot of sweating,
Right.
and they didn't do a whole bunch of dancing, so they felt comfortable
Right.
in it. And so it's like in their mindset, they feel like they gotta put in some hard work in order for them to do something. So 'cause usually when you see them in any kind of cardio class, it's like majority women,
Right.
very little men.
Exactly.
And so I was trying to, what can you tell the guys listening about how important cardio is in the whole total wellness part?
I think us as guys know how important it is. I just think there's a barrier between classes and just your conventional cardio.
Okay.
So, a lot of guys, they'll rather jump on the Stairmaster or go outside and run instead of
doing a class.
Okay. And I think once you show men that the class can be fun, like my heat class, it's about half and half.
Okay.
And my step class, like I said, is beginning to be more and more guys in there because they're actually seeing like, yo, I'm burning about 1,000 calories in this hour and doing, and I'm having fun doing it as well. So they continue to come back. Like we got one guy in there, like we got routines named after him, like because he has that much fun in class.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So when I told people that I was gonna have you on, a lot of women, number one question is, how can they make their butt bigger without doing surgery?
Going to the doctor.
Yeah.
So in fitness, like I always want to make sure that I'm very clear on the perception and what they see. So, like it's funny because I just had a DM with a girl and she sent me this funny thing because she sent me a picture of one of my clients that was online. She had no idea this was one of my clients. And it's funny again because it's a white girl comparing herself to a black girl. And, in our society, it's not necessarily, the body structure is just a lot different.
Right.
And so I asked her, I said, so basically what you're wanting to do is lift the butt and kind of round it out some. She was like, yeah. So that can be done, but it is hard. It doesn't happen overnight. And it's not necessarily squats. I'm not sure why everybody thinks squats are like the answer to get. I mean, that's not even the primary muscle that's worked.
Right.
To get glutes. There's different exercises that you can do, but putting some weight on it, constantly focusing on it and pumping that blood in there, and eating the proper diet will help you with any type of results that you're trying to get, whether it's gaining size, getting big, toning, or dropping body fat, or losing weight. It's all gonna come back to that diet.
Okay. So the next question they had me ask you is, what would you recommend if they wanted to do a jump start to lose some weight? So they want to lose like a quick 10 pounds if they try to go to a function or something like that.
So, like right now, I have a bunch of different programs, and there's like no one answer I can give you there's 3 different body types. You know what I'm saying? So with 3 different body types, one, there's some questions I'm going to have to ask you. There's a lot of things I'm going to want to know to give you a jump start, just to give you an advantage from the next person. So I usually always tell people to send me a DM or shoot me an email, or probably click the link in my bio just to do some research on some of the stuff that I do offer.
Right.
But just for starters would be just trying to think and be a little bit more aware of the foods that you're eating. Drink water.
Right.
And just make a conscious decision on trying to be a little bit more active than you previously are, and trying to eat a lot more cleaner than you've been doing.
Right.
That alone will have you move past some things a lot quicker than the next person who's not doing that.
Okay. So the new fad or new hot thing right now is the keto diet,
right,
and intermittent fasting.
Correct.
What's your opinion on that?
This is my thing. All programs and, for the most part, structured diets work if you do them.
Right.
So one of the things that I hate to see is people jump from intermediate to keto to carb cycling to high carb or just low carb, or just a bunch of different programs trying to get to one point. And what you see is somebody jumping from A to C to A to D to A to F, and the quickest way is A to B.
Right.
If you start a program, see it through. Give yourself a solid 30 to 60 days on it. And then if you don't like it, try something else out.
Right.
But training for a day, it's not working, or a week, and just jumping on the new fad,
Right.
you know, you're going to be chasing your tail like a little dog the whole time.
So, for the heat challenge, the question was, do they go through your website to join, and they want to know when's the next one you're going to have?
So right now I'm revamping the whole program. So I just took on the position of CEO at a company called Shed Fat, which is a online supplement company.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah, which is a big opportunity for myself, and a big opportunity for, you know, the fans and followers of Shed Fat, because of, you know, what I'm going to be able to bring to the table. So, you know, as far as the heat challenge, it's coming. So I revamped the whole challenge. I'm revamping the whole website and the whole app. So it'll be ready towards the end of this year.
Okay.
The best thing I could tell people right now is, you know, turn on my notifications on Instagram.
Okay.
And just stay tuned, because it's right around the corner.
Okay.
Like, I'll start announcing the winners from the last challenge.
Okay.
And then showing what they look like, and you'll start, like, you'll know when it's coming.
Okay.
I'll start doing a little bit more promoting on it.
So, how do you feel that you are so popular on social media? Because you seem like you're a humble guy,
I'm very humble,
and you got this big popularity.
I just don't view it that way.
Okay.
You know, I mean, it kind of still freaks me out. Like, I was out at Atlantic Station yesterday, and the guy ran up to me, and he was like, "Yo, man, I just wanted to say what's up. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm one of your followers on Instagram."
Right.
And I don't know. It's just, I don't think that much of it. You know, I mean, I think I am somewhat of a public figure in the fitness realm. But it's not like I got a crowd of people following me when I walk in Lennox or anything like that, you know. But I think I have, you know, touched a lot of people, especially, you know, with some of the programs that I have, and changed their life for the better.
Right.
So I do recognize that kind of stuff, you know, and give certain people kind of goals to reach for, you know. So I am appreciative of the recognition for stuff like that.
Okay. I have a question, because a couple of guys that are starting off in training, and they wanted to ask you, what would you recommend? I know you said that you end up getting a marketing manager and all that kind of stuff. Do you recommend that for everybody else?
So I'm always, like, I mentor a lot of young trainers and a lot of young people just looking to be better or have their career take off as an entrepreneur. And the first thing I always ask them is, are you passionate about it?
Right.
Because if you're not, and you're doing it for the look, or you're doing it for the money, and honestly, if you're doing it for the money, I'm not even sure what money you're looking at, because it's not an easy field to be in whatsoever. It's not like you're walking down the street and then 20 people are coming up to you like, "Hey, can you train me?" Even though my face may be known, nobody just walks up to me on the street like, "Hey, I have to put in some type of work."
Right.
So, you know, I always ask, are they passionate about what they're doing? You know, what is it that makes you any different from the next trainer?
Right.
You know, because that's going to be key. You know, that's what's going to separate you from every other trainer that's here. You know, if you ask me, I can give you a list of things that make me different from every single other trainer in the world.
Okay.
You know, there's only one me, and that's not even me being boastful or me, you know, me being pride. That's just me knowing my lane.
Right.
You know, and I always tell people, like, you have to find a lane, and what makes your lane so unique and so specific that people want to work directly with you.
Okay.
Because not everybody's going to want to train with me. You know, I'm not attracting everybody in the world.
Okay.
But if I can relate to you, if I can talk to you, and you like what I do, you like the results, and you like, you know, that I've worked with somebody who looks like you, or you just might like my presentation or anything like that, then, you know what I'm saying, those are the chances. You might like my smile. I don't know. You know, those may be some of the things that attract people to want to work with me.
Right.
Vice versa, some of those things may not work for the next person. So, you have to have and find what your niche is. And once you find that niche and you find your lane, I always tell people, mash the gas. Like, because can't nobody do you better than you.
Right. I agree with that. So how did you come up with levels?
So levels is funny. Like I said, aerobics has been around. Step aerobics has been around for probably since I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And one of my friends back in Cleveland, he did very well with it. And
Phil?
Yeah, Phil.
Okay.
And I'm like, you know what? I wish I can get something like that going in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Something like that going at my gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I reached out to Phil a few times, and there was opportunities that we had, and I got busy, he got busy, and I'm like, forget it. I'm just gonna try to teach myself how to do it. And mind you, like I said, there's worldwide calls that people do in step aerobics, and for my class, they're different.
Okay.
A lot of moves and routines that we do are a lot different. They are my own routines.
Okay.
And that's the one thing that I like about being in my own lane. I kind of can create certain stuff that nobody else is doing.
Right.
Then I can trademark that stuff.
Okay.
And it becomes my own. So, I came up with that just, again, wanting to do something different. I've seen it, I'm like, I can do something different, but along the same lines, but just have a different feel to it. And
right.
I did it.
Okay. Okay, because it become a real popular class.
Right.
And, that was like the number one question, because people watch it online. They said, well, what's the difference between levels and regular step? But like you said, it's just...
It's like, so in my class, if you come to a levels class, you're going to hear the difference.
Okay.
Like I'll call something, they'll say something back.
Right.
It's a lot of, if you ever been to a heat class, there's a lot of swag in it, I guess to say the least, where it's just different.
Okay.
Like a lot of stuff is just different.
Okay.
Just like you said, you'll see some of the movements may still be the same, but like that movement right there, I call that showtime. And basically what it look, I call it showtime, so it looks like Deion Sanders doing,
Okay.
his
touchdown dance.
His touchdown dance. So, it's like I said, it's just a little different, and I wanted to have something unique at my gym.
So one of the questions with you for the same different people is they said that, was it either last year or the year before last, you went on tour, you and a few other trainers.
Yeah.
They want to know, are you going to do that again this year? And if so, what cities are you going to go to?
So with the integration of me coming on board with Shed Fat, I will be doing some traveling. It'll probably be a little different because we're picking up affiliates and athletes and brand ambassadors of the company, and I'm being very strategic and very mindful of who we bring on board. It's not just anybody that we're bringing on board. And the conversations that we're having, are the one-on-one conversations. A lot of people don't get a chance to actually talk to, the head person in charge of the company. They talk to somebody else. So, being able to hear exactly what the direction is and where we're trying to go and the expectations, and that person accepts, they know where we're going and the direction that we're going in. So we're definitely going to be doing some traveling. Heat will definitely be, one of the classes that we bring. Levels will definitely be one of the classes, and then, our affiliates and ambassadors and athletes, if they have, classes or boot camps that they'll do, like we'll definitely partner on those things.
So one of my homies in Cleveland wants to know, I guess he saw that someone in Chicago is doing levels.
Well, he's doing
heat in Chicago. He wants to know, how can he get trained to teach heat in Cleveland?
So I'm actually certifying people now to be an instructor of heat. So I'll put a post up. There's an email that they can send that is going to inquire about be an instructor, and I give them the outline of what that looks like. And it's like a weekend thing, 3 days. They'll come up. They'll go through, some training, some guides. They'll have to teach a class. They'll have to participate in a class, and then they'll take a test.
Okay.
And, I mean, it is a pass or fail type thing. So
wow. Okay.
Because it's my brand,
right.
I want to make sure that it's represented the right way, and that they understand everything that goes into it.
Okay. So now, what exactly is Shed Fast? I saw on the Instagram, is one I saw is like green, and that's where like you get all the vegetables that you want to get in it, and there was another one was like red.
Right. So we have a detox and a defense.
Okay.
So the green one is our detox, which has is more catered to like the vegetables and things of that nature, and the defense is more catered to your fruits. So you can have, I'm not sure if you understand anything about fruits, but a lot of fruits have a lot of sugar.
I do, yeah.
In them. So you can substitute this and still maintain the nutrition of the fruit, but minus the sugar. Okay. So for somebody like myself, actually, and it's funny how all this works, because I love to eat fruit, but I don't want to overdo my fruit and add a bunch of sugar, so I take defense. And then I hate vegetables. Like, I literally hate vegetables. But I can take the detox, put it into like a shake, or I can, use it from different other type of cooking styles or nutrition styles, and I'll get all the nutrients that I need out of the detox. And then, like I said, also because you need the fibers and things like that, it also makes you use the bathroom on the regular. Right. And I like to be regular. Okay.
And the reason why, cause when I started on Instagram, because I do holistic health coaching, so I'm a big believer in like detoxing, but I'm big on eating raw fruits and vegetables to cleanse you out. But I do know when I have clients, some clients just are like you, they hate vegetables, but they need it. Exactly. And so when I saw what you was promoting, that was one of the things I wanted to learn more about, because then that way I could just say, well, get that. Right. Instead, if you don't like to eat vegetables, but you need the benefits of it, get that. So that's what I was trying to figure out.
And I would like everything, and it's funny because, everything that Shed Fast stands for, me and the owner, we had when I say long conversation, like 8-hour conversation. Smoking hookah and just talking. Right. And they just got to a point they're like, yo, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I gotta go. But our vision on what we both wanted to do aligned. And the initial conversation wasn't for me to come on as a CEO. Like, that wasn't even, a thought in either one of our heads. Right. He wanted to talk to me about pushing the product through my gym, and after doing the research, I was open to it. And somehow, some way, after, like I said, this long conversation, it was like, yo, it might be a good idea for you to come on, as an ambassador. And I'm like, I'm not really interested in being an ambassador at this point. I think I can bring a little bit more to the table. And after we had the conversation, everybody thought it was in their best interest to, put me in position as the CEO, with everything that I'm capable of doing and have shown in the past that I've done, and just revamp and take it to a whole nother level. So, my whole conversation with our followers is not a sales. I'm not trying to sell anything to you. I want to have a conversation like we're doing now, side to side, and explaining, the benefits of the supplements that we have. And like I said, for somebody like myself who doesn't like vegetables, like, this is a necessity for my daily activity. Absolutely. And by somebody who works out, who lifts weights, who's into fitness, like, I'm familiar with fat burners. Right. And I've tried fat burners from a bunch of different companies, and a lot of them you have to come off of after 8 weeks. Yeah. Why? That's because the stuff that's in them is not natural, and it's probably harming your body bad for your liver. Right. With our fat burner, it's only 6 ingredients, You know, so right off the top, you know, it's all natural, and we have a vegan capsule. So for me,
that's what I was going to ask you about too.
Yeah. So for me, I can take this year round if I need to, and I don't get the jitters, and it actually works. You know, I'm like, I can stand behind this all day.
Okay.
So like I said, the joint of the companies, you know, because I did bring Heat Challenge onto Shed Fat platform, so it's going to be a quarterly thing that we do.
Okay.
You know, it just made sense.
Okay, because I know I was looking at it. That was one of the questions I had was for the fat burner. I know you did say it was vegan capsules, but you know, like you said, I've taken several different times, and they all give me the shakes.
Right.
And so I was like, what's different from this one that would probably prevent me from not?
Yeah, nobody likes that jittery feeling. Now you will sweat, you know.
I'm cool with that.
You know, most fat burns are thermogenics, and it causes you to sweat. That's what causes you to burn more calories.
Okay.
But you don't take it and not do anything. Like you want to make sure you're taking in your exercise, and you know that's the process. That's with any type of supplement or anything, you know, that you're trying to do. You still have to do some work for the results to kick in. It just enhances the process.
All right. So how many different vegetables are in the Shed Fast with the veggies?
I want to say it's, I could be wrong, but I want to say it's 5 to 8.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say it's about 5 to 8 different vegetables in there.
Okay, so if they were interested in getting either one of those items, they just go to your.
Hey, you can click the link in my bio, and it'll take you right there.
Okay, that's cool because I that's what I was looking at. That's why I said, well, I'll wait until I ask you because everybody who come to me to get a cleanse, when I tell them vegetables, that's the first thing that slows them down because they don't want no vegetables.
Right.
But like you said, it allows you to get regular, and you need to be regular. And a lot of these folks are not regular because they don't eat vegetables.
Vegetables are such a key component in your nutrition, and I get it, you know. And like I said, like I'll eat. Don't get me wrong, I'll eat vegetables. Like I'll have a kale salad or a spinach salad. But like broccoli, like as a kid, like I just never liked it. Like I know people who say they love vegetables. I'm like, you're lying. Like, no way in the world you love vegetables. But you know, because I love hamburgers and fries. Like that tastes good. Vegetables don't taste nothing like that.
So, the next question they wanted to know is, how long do you think? And I know it's relative to each person, but they want to know, how long do you think it would take them to lose 30 pounds? And I'm going to tell you, it's a female who asked the question.
So I love that question because it's going to vary per person, you know, and I wish I could say for you to lose 30 pounds, it's going to take you 15 days. But the reality is it's going to take you the amount of time it's going to take you depends on how committed you are to the program. So I'll have results from people who did a program in 60 days who may have lost 20 pounds, but may have looked like they lost 40 to 50 pounds. And then I'll have the same program from people who've lost 40 pounds, but you can't tell. You know, they probably was a bigger person, or it just doesn't look the same. And that could come from they just did cardio, didn't work out, didn't lift weights. So it's kind of saggy. Or they did work out and, you know, did cardio, so it looked a lot differently. So, you know, it's hard to answer that question. I always ask why that number, you know, and then they'll revert back to, well, that's what I looked like in high school or college.
Exactly.
And I'm like, well, you're like 40 years old now, you know, so it's a lot different look. You know, your body's a lot more mature now. So let's go for a look rather than a scale number.
Okay.
You know, like a lot of people might look at me and they're like, well, you look like you're around 200-something pounds. Like now I'm like 100
and when you said
low
that
170s. I mean high 170s, low 180s.
when you said that on I think I saw you did the questions and you said how much you weighed. When you said that, I was kind of surprised.
Yeah, like a lot of people think I'm bigger than what I am. Like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm not.
Okay. I'm like, when you said 170, I'm like, he lying.
Yeah.
I was like, he can't be that small.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've noticed from afar, because I've seen you in the gyms, because you used to work out with KD, and I think Stephen back. So I should see you at Panola a lot of times.
Okay.
And what I've noticed is that you seem like the type of guy that you don't look at none of these guys who all do the same thing that you do as competition.
Nah.
And to me, it's like when I see people down here, they look at people like that as competition, so they don't want to interact with them, or they want to, cut them down, something like that. So, why you look at it like that, and why you look at them not being competition?
So I always take it back to the first thing I said when I talk to, somebody that I'm mentoring or who's asking, what should they do, or what's some of the first things they should do if they're getting into fitness, and it's staying in your lane. Like KD's a bodybuilder. I'm not a bodybuilder.
Right.
Beck, he's into fitness, but that's not his main thing. Like he's into acting and things like that. So we all may be in fitness in some aspect, but we totally have different lanes.
Right.
And like I said, when it comes to, I can sit here and tell you how I'm different from every single trainer in the world, because I just do different things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do work out, and I probably have the physique of a bodybuilder, but I also teach classes as well, you know what I'm saying, which doesn't fall in line with the bodybuilder physique. I also own a gym, which, a lot of gym owners may not look or teach classes or still train.
Right.
I also see over a supplement company. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different things, different aspects of what I do that just doesn't define me to being a trainer or being a gym owner or, just a lot of different things in fitness. There's a lot of different stuff that I can do in fitness because this is what I have a passion for.
Right.
And I don't necessarily look at it as work. I'm kind of like, oh, it's just another challenge, and let me see how I can kill this one.
Okay. So one of the questions was that with fitness being as big as it is right now, especially, a lot of different shows on TV now are coming on about fitness. They want to, have you ever thought about trying to be on TV as a...
That's funny. So have I ever thought of it? Everybody else thinks I do, so I'll take it. I'm just being me, and that's all I know that I can do, just be me. So I'm not putting on for anybody else or nothing like that.
Right. So one of the ladies wanted to know, how do you juggle being an entrepreneur and being the doting father that you are too? Because they see that on Instagram, so I guess a lot of the ladies find that very...
It's hard. It's somewhat of a balance. Luckily, he's in school while I'm training, so I kind of built my training and my business around him, because it's evolved around him.
Okay.
Like my
Right.
Once I break that mentality of I can't, or I'm tired, or I just don't want to. The laziness, what I call it, for real, is when you'll start seeing the results. And it's because I have this conversation with my mom, and I tell her, like, you're not wasting my time. Like, I love you to death, but like, I know you, like, I know when you go home and you want to eat some ice cream and some chips and stuff like that. Like,
exactly.
I just lost a close friend, not due to anything of the sort. He passed from sleep apnea, but it was a wake up call for me. You know what I'm saying? Simply to just call my friends and tell them I love them.
Right.
And in that situation, when it's you and it's your life and you have full control of what's going on, the question is like, do you want to be here?
Right.
You know, because a lot of people ask like, what motivates you? I'm like, life.
Exactly.
You know, the fact that I can get up and be better than I was the day before, the fact that I can get up and have an opportunity that my generation, especially generations before me, would have never thought of.
Never.
So, you know, it's to answer that question, when you're ready to tune in and put the work in, because it's not easy. It's not, nobody ever is going to say the hard part behind it. Like, it is hard. It's going to take some time. It's going to be frustrating. You have to be tired of being in the situation. I went to a school where if my face was, it wasn't normal.
Okay.
You know.
This is back in Cleveland?
This is in Findlay, Ohio.
Okay. What school did you go to?
University of Findlay.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, even you go out there, it's
okay.
If we're there, we're playing sports.
Exactly. I think the person I knew that went there and played sports.
Yeah, we ain't going there just to go to school. So, you know, I always put myself in positions where I had to succeed. So, you know, and failure just wasn't an option. You know, if
Cause I guess they saw you on Instagram, and one of the questions was, did somebody ask you, was you in the fraternity or something?
I think somebody did ask me if I was in a fraternity or something of that nature, because I don't talk about it that much.
Right.
But yeah, I am an iota. I crossed in 04 of I crossed in 02, 402, 4502 in Toledo, Gamma Nu chapter.
Okay.
Yeah, I was an ace.
Okay. Well, I figured you probably the shortest of the bunch.
Sir, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Is try to beat your round time. So you may go 5 push-ups, 10 sit-ups, 15 squats. And the whole idea is not to do a lot of moving around. Do your push-ups, roll over, do your sit-ups, stand up, do your squat, lay down, push-up, roll over, sit-up, squat. So you don't do a lot of moving around. That's key, first off. And then the second key is to beat the time that you had last time.
Okay.
And it's a total body workout. You know, it's upper body.
And they say how much cardio they need to do a day, and how many days do you recommend?
Again, that's just a different question, because it's going to vary depending on the person.
Okay.
For me, I personally do cardio probably 4 or 5 times a week.
Okay.
For an hour a day.
Okay.
You know, for somebody else that may be extreme.
Okay.
And I don't have that much body fat to get rid of, but to keep the physique and to keep the look that I want, and possibly sometimes eat some of the foods that I want to eat.
Right.
That's what it calls for.
Okay.
So it's going to vary. I would say to start off, you want to try at least 3 days.
Okay.
At least 30 minutes. And cardio will be anything that brings your heart rate above normal.
Okay.
So
and how important is it to change up your routines on cardio?
It varies. I do the same thing all the time. Like, my workouts are boring. My cardio is boring.
Okay.
And a lot of people, they want a variety of stuff because they don't want to get bored.
Right.
I'm somebody who eat the same thing every day.
So you will
diffuser bottle, I believe, or some bands. So you get a nice little group of things bundle of things that you can either work out with, eat in the street, you know, use when you're out, and then a customized and a strategic plan to get to, you know, the next results within 30 days.
Okay. So for those that are in the ATL and want to come to your gym, the ladies want to know, what classes do you offer outside of what you teach?
One of my younger trainers, Mecca, she's up and coming. She's dope. We have a class called Extreme, which is by another trainer. His name is EJ, and it's kind of a variety of heat and levels, but they add weights in it as well.
Okay.
That's a pretty dope concept. We have some seductive yoga. Which is exactly what it sounds like.
Okay.
We have a class called Trasane, which is taught by DJ. He's my ops manager. And his class it's pass free on Saturdays at 9 o'clock. And that's a pretty dope boot camp. What else do we have going in there? Oh man, my man Antonio, he teaches several different classes. He teaches a beginner step class. He teaches a kickboxing class, and then he teaches a total body sculpting class.
Okay.
So on Tuesdays he teaches at 7 and 8, and on Thursdays he teaches at 7.
Okay.
And then he'll be teaching the class on Saturdays as well. Like Antonio, he's probably one of the dopest instructors I've seen.
Okay.
Like in a minute. Like,
Really?
This dude is dope.
Okay. And so one of the questions is, are you going to ever offer spin classes?
Probably so. We actually do have this weekend coming up. We have.
I know you're doing something with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This weekend. So yes.
So they coming to you guys? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So y'all asked for it. It's going to be there this Saturday?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll post it on my page to let them know, because
Okay.
that's one of the things. I have a lot of people who follow me that love spin classes.
Yeah, spin class is dope. I don't offer it on a regular basis because you got to have a place to store those bikes.
Right.
And I think the next concept of gym that I'm currently working on will have spin bikes in there for sure.
Okay. So I did see you're working on some other HS Fitness in other cities.
Yeah.
Can you say what cities you looking at right now?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It'll probably be more so here. I can say that.
Okay.
It'll probably be another one in Atlanta.
Okay.
Quicker than some other places.
Would you ever do one back at home?
Maybe.
Okay.
You know, if the need was there, you know, there's a lot of good stuff going on in Cleveland, and I like, you know, what everybody's doing in Cleveland. I'm not really trying to,
Okay.
you know, mess that up at all. You know, there's some dope stuff going on in Cleveland. So, you know, if it does call for it, then possibly, we'll see.
Okay. So what's next for you?
I don't know. I have no idea. Right now, you know, I'm doing a lot of speaking engagements.
Okay.
I've somehow turned into a motivational speaker.
I can see that.
You know, so, and that just happened last year. You know?
So how is a guy, to me, from what I perceive of you, be kind of a laid back dude,
right,
humble dude? How you segue into become a motivational speaker?
It really, honestly, I don't know. I had two speaking engagements that kind of opened up my eyes. The last one that was in D.C., you know, after I got done speaking, I just had a line of people that wanted to talk to me, and I'm like, yo, I don't know what I said to y'all.
Right.
They got y'all really wanting to talk to me. I think some of it may just be I'm very black and white, and very just straightforward and
Right.
can relate. So, you know, that could have something to do with it.
Right.
The fact that, you know, a lot of people may have seen the growth from, you know, there's a lot of people that follow me on Instagram that's been following me since I've been on Instagram.
Right.
And like they've even, like some of the first shirts that I've ever had printed, like they'll send me pictures like, yo, I'm still rocking your
Right.
RTB shirt. And I'm like, yo, that was like when I first got into training. Like, that's crazy that you supported and bought it.
I still remember that video. I think y'all made that video at Panola.
Uh-huh.
It was you, Beck, and KD,
Right.
and y'all was like in like the aerobics room,
Right.
and y'all, like, I guess y'all did like y'all pushed up and y'all jumped over each other,
Right.
like that. Y'all did that at Panola, right?
Yep.
Okay, that's the one. That's the one I remember, and that's when I started
Yeah,
following.
we're just playing around, just trying to get somebody to see us on Instagram, you know, and that it turned into something that I personally didn't, you know, I was doing it for fun,
Right.
and then it turned into something that like went viral and stuff.
Okay. So when you do motivational speaking, is it more towards fitness, or you just do it about like you said, mindset and all that kind of stuff?
It's a little mixture of both.
Okay.
I find myself speaking to a lot of entrepreneurs.
Okay.
And depending on the setup of the convention, the last one I did, the main thing that they kind of wanted me to talk about was mindset, and then I went to a fitness segment where I spoke as well. So
Okay.
it just depends. I try to make sure for me that I'm not caged into like one specific area.
Okay.
That if you know me is you know me from several different things.
Right.
Whether it's shed fat or heat challenge or being a trainer or being a motivational speaker or
right.
Being an entrepreneur, being a father,
Mm-hmm.
or being active in the community. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Just not for just one thing. Everybody knows me as a trainer. It's
Right.
just a little like I want it to grow out of the training set. What do you call it? The training image.
Right.
And just be a little bit more than just a trainer.
Right.
So.
I got you. So, how important is it for you to be a pillar of the community?
I think it's very important. For the fact that here in Atlanta, and back at home in Cleveland, like I can relate to our youth.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to make sure that our youth is headed and guided in the right direction, because now it's so quick for them to turn, and start going in a different way. And again, this is why my son, I try to make sure he's always with me, not saying that he won't be subject to it or won't have chances or opportunities to be subject to it, but constantly being in his ear or constantly being in our young people's ear, and being able to show them like, I came from, the same atmosphere that
Mm-hmm.
you did, and I too have made some of those same bad decisions.
Right.
And also too, no, I never want to go or be in jail or,
Right.
Not be able to be around my family. Like that stuff is real,
Right.
and I don't think kids understand how real death is and how real jail is. Once they close those bars, like you ain't no getting out of that. Dog.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
at all. You the fact that you have the right to eat and drink when you want to, and
Mm-hmm.
use the bathroom when you want to, and just have this freedom that we all take for granted, and making some of these bad decisions, or one bad decision can end all that.
Right.
And depending on how bad that decision is, can end it for the rest of your life.
Right.
And just constantly being in those kids' ears and letting them know, like, you may not, be successful at, math, but, if you like science,
Mm-hmm.
you could be the next scientist.
Right.
If you like music, and you could be the next producer.
Right.
Like there's jobs for that stuff.
Right.
Like what is it that you like to do?
Exactly.
There's a job for something that you like to do. There's a career in it.
Exactly.
But those are the things that I try to talk to our youth about. Like I want to know what you're passionate about.
Right.
Because that's where you're gonna be the most successful.
Exactly.
You might like music. What is it that you like about the music? Because all the kids like music. They like
Exactly.
to dance. Or you might be a choreographer.
Right.
Or you might be a producer. Can you sing? You might be able to sing.
Right.
Or you might be able to write music.
Right.
You might be able to make a video. There's a whole bunch of different things that you can do.
Right.
That necessarily don't mean that you have to go to this collegiate school. There might be a trade school for that. And that be the lane that you go in to get to where you want to be.
Exactly.
And I think that that's not was taught to our youth, that figuring out what they want to do, like what do they like to do, and
Exactly.
then steering them in the right direction.
Right.
So
So, and watching you, I could tell that you have a close relationship with your dad, and then you have a close relationship with your son.
Right.
How important is that? You know, someone who has a close relationship from their dad is important. How much was that important to you in becoming a man?
It's funny because I'm close with both of my parents. I spent all my life with my mom. My parents are divorced. They were divorced at 12, but my dad was never not in my life. You know, his job when he was working, he's retired now. He used to work swing shifts, so he used to work all day at night or all day. But if I had an event going on, he was there. And the talks I needed to have, he always had those talks with me. So I think it's very important, especially for a young man, to have another man or father figure in their life, because I don't care what anybody says. Like, a woman can't raise a man.
No,
like,
sir. No, sir.
You just can't.
Right.
You know, like that one thing is impossible. Like, it's just certain things
because they don't have the experiences that we have as men.
Yeah, we move differently.
Right.
We think differently. You know, like, we're providers. You know, they're more caretakers, and we just think differently than women do. And you know, once a kid gets a certain age, his thought process is going to be totally different.
Exactly.
And I moved out from my mom when I was in high school because my thought process was different. I was on the verge of being a grown man, an adult, 18, I guess to say.
Right.
And I just needed some of that freedom. And you know, my dad would just have regular conversations with me, like, you know, if you go to jail, I ain't getting you out.
Right.
And that's all I needed to hear.
Right.
You know, with my mom, she would probably give me a lecture and, you know, give me all these other things. My dad would be very
blunt.
Very blunt. You go to jail, I ain't getting you out. Don't call me.
Don't call me. That's what my dad
and I
said
knew
too.
I can't go to jail. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I needed to hear.
Right.
And it's funny, like, they both play huge parts in my life, but they both visit situations totally different. You know, my dad's very black and white, straight, cut forward. My mom, she's going to explain it in detail. And that's the difference, really, with I feel like with men and women in general. Women are very detailed. Men are like, I'll give it to me, I'll put it together.
Right. That's crazy. But so, one of the questions they wanted me to ask you is, how? Yeah, it's going to always go back to mindset, but I'm still going to ask the question. You know, should they start exercising now, or should they just go ahead and wait until January 1st?
No, start now.
And
January 1st ain't promised.
And
I hate to say that, but it's not.
Exactly.
It's not. Why wait? What are you waiting on? First off, I guess that's the better question. What would you be waiting on?
Right.
To get fatter?
Right.
I don't know. No, start now. Like, I have people like, oh, well, I'm gonna start working out so I can come train with you. No, come train with me and I can get you on the right path.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Why waste your time? That's what I'm here for.
Right.
To help you get to a different level, not to get ready to train with me. It's not. You're not preparing for the Olympics or anything.
So,
like
with the videos that everybody see on Instagram from your different classes that you promote, either yours or the other people's, it's a little bit of an intimidation, I should say. Right. Some of the people who watch it, they want to come, but they're kind of intimidated by it. So, what do you recommend? Or what would you say to them who want to come?
I hear that a lot. And sometimes I'm a man of excuses. Like, I hate excuses.
Right.
You know, but sometimes I feel like it is an excuse. Like, oh, I would come, but I don't think I can get it. Well, you wouldn't know if you never tried.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think it come, but it looks intimidating. But you would never know if you never tried. The first step to being successful is at least taking a step. You know, and they're looking at something that people have been doing for months, and then I'm going to show you. Like, I'm not going to show you where everybody messing up.
Right.
You know, then you'll be like, well, your classes don't look like they're together.
Right.
So of course I'm going to show you what a good class looks like, but I also teach before I show this whole video. You know, so if I can teach a group of people who've never done a class before,
right,
and then shoot a video and they're like, yo, they all got together, and I'm like, well, they just learned this in like 20 minutes. that's, you know what I'm saying, that's why you have to come. Like, you got to come. It's something that you got to keep coming to. And just like with anything, you know, practice makes perfect. So,
Okay.
you know, you're not, you won't get it. I'll tell everybody comes in like, look, you're not going to kill this class, the first class. Like, it's just impossible. But you'll catch on if you keep coming. And like now it's 30-some people in the class, you know, and it will start off again with like 5.
Okay.
So,
I have a question from a guy who is going vegan. And he want to know, is it possible for him to go vegan but not lose his mass?
yeah, it's hard.
Okay.
It is hard, but it is possible. Because, you know, with some of these different diets and people shying away from the protein aspect of it being like your primary source of protein is usually found in meat. So once you start having to eat beans, then you're going to start looking at how many carbs you're taking in, and to get a certain amount of protein, you got to eat a certain amount of carbs, and sometimes it off balances. So you can, it's just I'm not a big fan of it personally. I can put together those type of meal plans.
Okay.
I'm a meat eater. I like meat.
I understand.
So, you know, and
So why aren't you a fan of vegan?
I like meat.
Okay.
Just, I mean, I like meat. And I'm not gonna say I'm not somebody who doesn't like change, because I change all the time. But I just like meat. Like,
Okay.
I get a steak, ground turkey, turkey, chicken. I need it. I need it. Like, I've been eating it all my life, you know. And once I found out different ways to eat it, get my body to change, and you know how important the protein source is, I stick with it. Now, I do support the vegan and the vegetarian lifestyle. Like, I totally support it. I get it. It's just not for me.
Right.
So,
And that's why, you know, people come to me and they ask me, as a holistic health coach, do I recommend vegan? I say it's not for everybody.
right.
I say everybody has, the biology makeup, everybody's different.
Right.
So like me, I'm an O positive, so I can process meat, no problem.
Right.
So it would be hard for me, even though I've thought about it, it'd be hard for me to go vegan.
Right.
Because based on my biology. But somebody else, it might be easier because they don't process meat as well as me. So I wouldn't tell nobody, you know, everybody need to go vegan.
Yeah, I'll never tell people what they should and shouldn't do. Like, if they tell me they want to be a vegetarian, or if they tell me want to be vegan, I ask why. I ask them, did they watch the movie? Because I think a lot of people watch the movie, and that's why they.
What the hell? Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I have my view on that. If I wanted to make you feel a certain way about something, then I'm going to put like all the statistics together to bring off that view.
I think all documentaries, whether it's for vegan or for animal products, they all create their own narrative.
Oh, yeah.
So it's up to you to do your own due diligence to see what's really best for you.
Yeah, but I like I said, I support all of them. I don't knock one over the other, but me personally, I like meat. So
okay. So the last few questions is: have you ever considered bodybuilding? If so, would you ever?
Maybe. It again, like with the stuff that I have going on, bodybuilding and competing,
it's very disciplined.
It's not even. I mean, it is disciplined. Don't get me wrong. It's very disciplined, and my weightlifting style, my eating habits are along the lines of bodybuilding, because that's how I was introduced to the whole fitness realm. But the time that it takes for it, I don't necessarily know if I want to commit that time to it. You know, like I said, I got running a gym, running a company, having being a single parent. I don't know. If I do it, it'll probably be a little later on down the line. Like everybody keeps asking me, am I gonna do it? But
Yeah,
they're like, that's the only thing you haven't done. I'm like, yeah, true.
right. Cause I remember.
I don't like vegetables though. So.
Cause I remember when some lady asked me, was I ever gonna compete? And I said, what are you talking about? He said, you got some nice legs. And I said, okay, but I don't think I want to compete.
Right.
But I just thought she might just want to holler or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So I saw KD and I asked KD. He was like, well, yeah, you can't compete because he said it probably just take you 4 weeks. And I'm like, well, what will I have to do? And then he started telling me what all he had to do. I said, nah, that's
It's
a lot. It's a lot.
It's a lot. So I just don't really have. I'm not passionate about bodybuilding. Not necessarily like to that extreme. I'm not.
So, okay. So like I ran into somebody, and I guess he's claiming himself to be a personal trainer, but I don't think he is really certified. I think he's just been going on YouTube, maybe looking at you or looking at somebody else, and then going out there. And what do you recommend? So, someone, would you tip the members need to know that they probably need to ask that question? Are they certified, and who they certified with?
Yes, I think so. Every time I always have a consultation before I take on a client or I get hired as a trainer. And I always let them know, like, look, I'm not going to sell you training or anything like that. Like, don't look at this no different than hiring somebody for your company, because at this point you're hiring somebody to change your body.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure if this was a company and you wanted to go to the next level, you want to make sure you get the best candidate for that position. And you want to look at their resume, you want to look at everything that they have going on, and you want to see what they've done. So what makes this any different? You know, if you're going to hire me as your trainer, then you need to look at my resume. You need to look at what I've done. Have I changed somebody that looks like you? What makes me qualified for this? You know, my price points are at a certain point. Why?
Right.
You know, is it because I have certifications and insurance and CPR certified?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all these things should matter, because if you fall out, am I going to panic as well?
Right.
Or am I going to help you?
Right.
You know, and that's one of the things I always tell clients, like, yo, like, even if you don't train with me, there's some questions that you're going to have to ask.
Exactly.
You know, the trainer, that, like, they need to show you something.
Right.
Ask them for their certification card. Ask them if they're CPR certified. Ask them if they have insurance. Find out if you're dealing with somebody if this is a hobby for them, or is this an actual business for them? Because if it's a business for them, they're going to treat it a lot differently.
Right.
You know, if it's a hobby for them, you're going to get just that. You're going to be a hobby for them, you know, and that doesn't necessarily turn into results. You're just an experiment.
Right.
You know, let me see what I can do with this person. More so than this is what I'm going to do with this person. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no question, like, oh, let me find out what this person, like, if I get a client, I know what I can do for you.
Right.
Are you going to do it?
Right.
Like, I got the answers to the test. It's like, here you go.
So what do you do? So what do you do for the people who come and pay for your services, but then don't really put the work in? Like,
I have a conversation with them.
Okay.
I always have a conversation with my clients, and I tell them, I appreciate the donations that you're giving, because for you they're supposed to be like payments, but at this point
it's
they're just donations. You're wasting your time and you're just giving me money. I appreciate it, but when we gonna start taking this serious? Because I don't want to keep taking your money and you wasting your time.
Exactly.
And I have those conversations, and I tell them, like, I don't have to train you either. You know, like, I can't stop. I'm not in a position now where just because you're paying me, I feel like I'm obligated to train you. Like, I'm training to gain you results, not to waste your time. Or mine. For I could be training somebody else at this time who will put it in results, and I can post something about their results, and I can make some more money. rather than dealing with you, and I can't get nothing from you, and I'm just wasting my time.
Right.
So, I always have those conversations because they need to be had. They're reality and eye openers for people. And I let them know, like, it's not about the money. Like, you came to me with a reason and a purpose. Like,
right.
when are we going to start getting to those spots? And that's what I said earlier. It's about the mindset. Like, once I capture that, the rest of this stuff is easy.
Okay.
But it's not until that part comes. And usually it's when I have that conversation.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, one of the guys wanted to know, how can he has chicken legs.
Mm-hmm.
How can he get his calves bigger?
Hit them at least 2-3 times a week. Put some weights on it. And then, like I said, that diet is going to, I don't know why I call it diet, but that nutrition plan is going to be key, because the only way for it to grow is you have to feed it.
Okay.
So a lot of people think, oh, if I go work out or go lift weights, I'm going to lose weight or get big. And if you're not feeding the muscle, there's no way it can get big. Like,
right.
It's just impossible.
Okay.
It's like not putting gas in your car and think you're going to go across the world and back. Like,
okay.
You need to put gas in it.
So we got 10 minutes left. So what I want to do is allow you to speak to the audience, wherever it's on. Since you could do it from the motivational standpoint,
right.
fitness standpoint, but whatever you got on your spirit that you want to tell the audience, it's your chance to do it.
I think the biggest thing, like I said, I'm always going to venture back to mindset, because I think that we as people struggle in that aspect in all aspects of life.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm probably more mentally strong in the physical mindset,
mm-hmm.
as far as what I can do with my body and what I can do for somebody in the fitness field, or understanding of supplements. But as far as, like, I might suck at relationships. Actually, I do suck at relationships. Mm-hmm. I'm getting a lot better now. Mm-hmm. I went through a lot of different things that caused me to grow as a man. Mm-hmm. But mentally, my mindset wasn't where it needed to be at. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody in some shape, some way or form has, I'll say for the sake of the show, messed up things about them. Mm-hmm. That if you don't change your mindset, that it'll continue being bad, Mm-hmm. So, for the young lady who is 300 pounds and is trying to lose weight, it's a mindset. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to wake up every day and say, I can do it.
Right.
Look yourself in the mirror and say, I am going to do it.
Right.
And start moving in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
And if you lose 1 pound, that's 1 pound to the good.
Right.
That's 1 less pound than you were the day before. Now let's lose another one.
Exactly.
And I think that a lot of things in life, as grown-ups, we kind of veered from, and we've all went through the growing phase at some point of our life, and then we got to a point where we're just put in position to start making decisions on our own. So I'll take it back to, kindergarten. Everything was controlled. Everybody mm-hmm. told you what to do, where you can go, what time to eat, when to go to sleep, when to wake up, when to read, when to do this. It was all controlled. Right. You go to elementary, it's a little bit more, a little bit more lenient. Now you guys can read, pick a book to read. Right. Pick a book to read and talk about it. You got recess and things like that. And then you get to middle school, you have a little bit more freedom. Right. When you get to high school, you get a little more freedom. You get to college, you don't know what to do with your life. Exactly. And then when you graduate, there's nobody guiding you in nothing. Mm-hmm. There's nobody telling you what to do in nothing. So at this point, it all comes back down to that mindset, mm-hmm. And did you learn anything from kindergarten through high school or kindergarten through college? What did you take away from the times that you were geared or driven in a certain direction, and how did you succeed in them? So I think what the takeaway is, start putting yourself in positions where mindset has to take control, and pretty much just going back to the basics.
Okay.
Like with my son, I applaud him when he does good things, and then when he does bad things, I tell him what's bad about him. Not necessarily yell at him or scream at him, but I say, hey, like, Daddy's not mad at you. I'm a little disappointed, or I think you can do better.
That's worse.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it gives them a time to think about it and say, you know what, I can do better.
Right.
And when he does good, it's like, see, you know what I'm saying? Now that's the denim I'm talking about.
Right.
And he likes that. So he wants to do more.
Right.
And they, just take the same thing with fitness. And somebody loses weight, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. And then they go out and they cheat. I'm a little disappointed in what you did this weekend.
Right.
And had that conversation. And then 2-3 weeks later or a month later, like, hey, I lost 10 pounds. And that's the person that I know. You know what I'm saying? Determined and encouraged and doesn't let anything get in the way. Like, but I guess at some point in time, we all still have to have some type of accountability there.
Exactly.
And somebody with the right mind and positive mindset to still kind of guide you in that right direction. So, at the end of the day, I think mindset is very key in having some type of accountability partner. I'll be the first to say I was always one to say I never needed somebody.
Right.
And I think after this injury that I had, kind of opened up my eyes to, no, I do need some people. I couldn't run that gym at home in a cast. Like, I had to depend on some of the managers at the gym to keep it going. And now I'm at the point, like, if I'm there or not, it's gonna run regardless. Even relationship wise, just having somebody who actually believes in you and supports everything that you're doing, that helps you move a little differently. So, just getting into a positive mindset,
right,
and waking up and knowing that you can do stuff, and just go out and try to do it.
Okay. One of the things when I listen to you talk, you said that you own the fact that you suck in relationships. How did you get to that point where you was able to be okay with admitting that's your truth, that you suck in relationships?
I just got to that point. Because, I mean, like, I've succeeded in everything else in life. Everything else. Anything that I put my mind to, I've succeeded at. And that's been one I really haven't just really, like, clinched on and focused on. And I have my reasons. They're not good reasons at all. Which is why I probably failed and I'll say it, sucked at relationships. But if I want to be a certain type of man, or this public figure and things like that, I need to put that same type of effort back into relationships. And and that can be with a female or a friend, not nothing crazy,
right,
guy wise, you know what I'm saying, but just being a better friend and being a better cousin, being a better brother, sister, or whatever. Like, I just know there's certain things that I had to change about some stuff that I was doing. So
right, because one of the things I noticed that whether it's a guy or a female, when we talk about relationships, each sex blame the other.
Right.
But nobody never takes full
responsibility. Oh no, I take full responsibility for all my relationships. Yeah. So I know I was probably there's some that we both had our parts, but 9 times out of 10 it was me. Okay. 9 times out of 10. Like I said, it is what it is at this point. But the only thing I could do is try to be better than what I was and not make some of the same mistakes.
So, last question is, and it's not even fitness related. How do you maintain the positive mindset and positive energy that you exude?
I like feeling good. So, I don't like being around negativity, right. And I don't like being around just negative energy.
Right.
Like that's very big and key to everything I do at the gym. Like right. I really like being around positive people, and I pride myself on that, especially at my gym. Like right. The atmosphere has to be a certain way. So. Exactly.
It's funny that you said that because I always tell the listeners, and I tell my friends everything like that we all are energy, mm-hmm. and so you attract to you who you are at that moment.
Right.
So if you have certain energy frequency, you're mm-hmm. going to attract that type of person. So, for me to get you on this show, it means energy-wise, we're on a similar level.
All right.
And because we think similar ways, and that's why I'm trying people to understand. You gotta attract who you are,
right?
And because if you try and not try to lower who you are to maintain certain friendships, because right. that purpose of that friendship might be over with because you have to elevate it,
right?
And you gotta be okay with that, and constantly grow as who you are as a person. So I want to thank you for being on the show. Tell everybody your social media handles and how they can reach out to you if they have any questions or anything like that.
So you can reach me on social media, primarily Instagram at I am Darrell.DP. That's IAMTHEREALDP. And if you guys got questions, you can shoot me a DM. Quick to respond, unless I got a bunch of them, but I do respond to all my DMs. And if you guys need some help on your fitness journey or anything like that, just give me a holler, and I'll go from there.
Once again, this is Darrell DP. Thank you so much, sir, for being on my show. Appreciate you. Detroit, I will be in town on Friday. I'm picking up an award from Eastern Michigan. They give me a award for all I do in the community, so I'm greatly appreciated. So we're going to turn up while I get there and still be pillars in the community while we do that. So this has been your boy Kevin Thornton, the Wellness Architect. Be great, be you, be authentic, and we are out. Peace.
Peace.